And then you've got the combinations. You've got cough medicines which combine a suppressant with an expectorant, which you think, well, you know, what's that for? And in fact, there are very few cough linctuses now that doctors can prescribe on FP10 prescriptions, that is free prescription, because, as I say, there is no scientific evidence that they really work. What they can do is they can get you a good night's sleep.
Because it's like taking knockout drops, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I actually know of people who get one particular cough linctus and use it to go to sleep with. You were talking about insomnia yesterday, which I would have thought was highly recommended.
Well, some of them contain fairly high doses of antihistamines, which, as you know, can be very sedating indeed. So if you've got a troublesome tickly cough at night and it's keeping you awake, then that isn't a bad idea, I suppose, last thing at night if you want to sleep. The trouble is, if you take it during the day, it can interfere with operating machinery, it can make you drowsy behind the wheel of a car, and it's probably not good news. Many of these cough linctuses are alcohol-based as well, and what some people do is they have their hot toddy plus their cough linctus and wonder why they feel absolutely wonderful. Yeah. It doesn't actually do anything for the cough, but it makes them feel good.
Makes you feel great. You have to scrape you off the ceiling, though, unfortunately.
But we do see these claims made, you know, have a cough linctus, and, you know, your cough will miraculously disappear. Not only is that not true, but it may actually be harmful in some ways, because, you know, we have a cough reflex for a reason. If we have something irritating our throats or our windpipe or the tubes leading down to the lungs, the cough reflex is designed to make us force air through those passageways fairly vigorously so that we expel any foreign body or any germ or any mucus. And in asthma, for example, we have a dry, persistent cough, often at night. And suppressing a cough in asthma is not the best idea in the world because it's actually telling you that there's a problem.
Right, so don't ignore it.
That's right.
And can we briefly summarise before you go the advice you gave earlier? Because I know that a lot of people, you know, if they were just half listening, would want to hear again about the vaccination that really should be given to people who've had their spleen removed.
Yep, anyone who's had a spleen removed should have Pneumovax, which is a vaccine which protects them against a bacteria called the pneumococcus, which in most people is eradicated normally, but in people who haven't still got a spleen, they find it difficult to fight that infection, and there is a small risk that the infection can develop into blood poisoning or septicemia, which can be life-threatening, so they should definitely have the vaccination.
Would you like to give the address again? Because I know that people can write for a fact sheet, can't they?
Write to Penny Boyer, care of Swinbrook Post Office, Swinbrook, Oxfordshire, OX18 4EE. That's Penny Boyer, care of Swinbrook Post Office, Swinbrook, Oxfordshire, OX18 4EE. And don't forget to send a stamped addressed envelope.
Thanks very much, Hilary. Have a nice weekend.
And you.
Right, it's time for the competition. Your chance to win £100 and the weather as well with Nikki.
Thanks, Lorraine. Yes, if you've just crawled out of bed, this is what you've been missing all morning. It's fuzzy faces. And we're giving away five £100 vouchers every day to help with all the Christmas bills. And all you have to do to win one is identify the well-known person we've concealed behind our mosaic mask. Now, here's today's. Is it Ulrika Johnson, Tanya Breyer, or Susan George? If you think you know the answer, call 0839 55 55 55. That's 0839 55 55 55. Calls are charged at 48p per minute. And yesterday's mystery celebrity was, of course, Jonathan Ross. There he is, unfuzzed. And the winners were Helen Thompson from Whitney, Miss Fradley from Derby, Gillian Davies from Cheltenham, Mary Martin from Westerham, and Margaret Gray from Sheffield. Well done all. On to the weather. Last look at the weather today. There's a little sunshine at the northern tip of Scotland, hardly anywhere else, although many places are dry. A few wintry showers, though, falling up there, and then there'll be some light rain, really, and drizzle, outbreaks of rain, moving down in a easterly direction from the west, I should say, across the country, and that's moving down through northern England and into Wales as well. Much of England, particularly the south, will stay reasonably fine, if not actually bright, but certainly dry this morning. But by the end of this afternoon, we'll find that the whole of England and Wales will have had outbreaks of rain or drizzle in some form or another. It's reasonably mild, though, because of all that cloud. Around 12 Celsius will be the top temperature, that's 52 Fahrenheit. Scotland, though, should have a dry afternoon, apart from just a few wintry showers up there in the north, but elsewhere, and including Northern Ireland too, just into northern England as well, should be reasonably fine. A little bit chilly and a little bit blowy, and everyone will have a fairly cold night, but it should be clear. The rain will clear overnight. Lorraine.
Nikki, thanks very much indeed. Kathy Taylor's still not feeling very well. Hope she gets well soon. So Catherine is sitting in for an after 9 this morning, and they're going to be finding out if low alcohol drinks are all they're cracked up to be, and looking at cosmetic presents for the women in the family. That's an after 9. with Catherine.
Well, it's just turned 9 o'clock, which means it's time to go over to Sky for the latest news with Lisa Aziz.
Hello, good morning. The Edinburgh summit is underway this morning with John Major openly pessimistic about reaching agreement over the Maastricht Treaty. The Prime Minister's last-minute efforts to reach a compromise over EC spending have failed, and Britain is under more pressure to give up its £2 billion budget rebate. The Princess of Wales is preparing to conduct her first official engagement with Prince Charles since the couple's separation was announced. Tonight they'll attend a banquet on board the Royal Yacht Britannia to mark the Edinburgh summit. Meanwhile, in Scotland, last-minute preparations are underway for tomorrow's wedding of the Princess Royal and Commander Tim Lawrence. In South Africa, at least 23 people, most of them children, have been killed in a collision between two trucks. Police say the accident happened near Beaufort West, about 200 miles north of Cape Town. 5 of the people who died were adults, the rest are believed to have been children. Aid workers in Somalia say US troops are not moving quickly enough out of the capital Mogadishu to help towns where the famine is at its worst. At the United Nations, Somalia's representative has called for an inquiry into the shooting of 2 civilians by French legionnaires. The incident happened at a roadblock when the legionnaires fired on a truck which failed to stop. Former Beirut hostage Thomas Sutherland is in London this morning as guest of honour at the Foreign Press Association. The Scottish-born American professor has been talking about his 6.5 years in captivity. He says Terry Waite was secretive about his mission, and he says that publicity campaigns in England didn't help to speed up John McCarthy's release. Finally, in Little Rock, Arkansas, US President-elect Bill Clinton has announced the first appointment of his new cabinet. Texas Senator Lloyd Bentsen will be the next Treasury Secretary, an appointment expected to be welcomed by Wall Street. That's all from Sky 4 this morning. It's now coming up to 3 minutes past 9. Now over to Catherine for After 9.
A swan song there from Ronnie West as the director, who is, of course, leaving today, and we saw him yesterday on After 9. It's Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well, Ronnie. Well, first of all, hello, welcome to After 9. I'm afraid Kathy's still not feeling well, so you've got me instead this morning, and I hope she'll be feeling much better soon. Now, in a moment, we're going to be looking at some great ideas for cosmetic Christmas presents, and that apparently does not have to mean a makeup bag. I bet you've got about 15 in your drawer, as I have. But first of all, at this time of year, most of us enjoy a glass of good cheer, but there are many occasions when you can't or you don't want to drink alcohol. So what's on offer, and are the drinks safe, or do they put you over the legal limit? Well, our consumer expert, Jan Walsh, joins us. Morning, Jan.
Morning.
And obviously, you work for the Daily Mirror, and there was a big expose in the Mirror earlier this week. The main problem seemed to be that whereas some drinks are low alcohol, some are no alcohol, and even the low alcohol drinks have different amounts of alcohol in, don't they?
That's right. I think it's because a lot of us just lump these sorts of drinks together and we think alcohol-free is much the same as de-alcoholized, low alcohol, reduced alcohol. We regard them all as very safe drinks, and what you have to realise is that they vary in the amount of alcohol they have in. Beer, for example, can have anything from a minute fraction of a percentage of alcohol up to 1.2%. And the wines themselves, you know, vary. They can have sort of 1% right up to about 5%, typically. Now, when you think about it, that can be a third of the strength of normal drinks, normal alcoholic drinks. So if you're drinking a lot of them at a party over a long period of time, in theory, you could find you're going up to the limit and over the limit. It's actually, I have to say, quite difficult with beer. It's theoretically possible, but 7 pints of low alcohol beer takes some
An amazing
drinking.
feat to drink one, I would have thought.
And there's quite a debate, in fact, in the industry as to whether it's even possible to get yourself drunk on low alcohol beer. But the fact is, it's worth knowing that there is that much alcohol in them. The wines themselves, again, they're actually got more alcohol in low alcohol wine, obviously, than in low alcohol beer. And it is very easy, I think, for women particularly at a party to drink a lot of low alcohol wine or light alcohol. Some of them are labelled light and they actually have more alcohol than the low alcohol ones, and find that, you know, at the end of the evening, without realising it, actually had quite a big intake of booze, of alcohol. And if they're driving home, they could be breathalyzed and they could find they go over the limit.
Now, you said that there's a debate within the industry, but are there actually examples, people who've actually done this, have gone over the limit and have been prosecuted?
There are. I mean, there are a lot of people who've been prosecuted and have said, but Your Honour, I only stuck to low alcohol booze. Now, Obviously, you have to take some of those cases with a pinch of salt because you can never be absolutely 100% sure that they're telling the truth. But it would seem on the balance of probabilities that there are quite a few people who have stuck to low alcohol drink and have found that they've got themselves into trouble because of it. I think there's a very important point to remember, and that is, I think, in this party season, it's very easy, isn't it, to go to a party and the host is, you know, mine host says to you, come on, you can have one drink, just have a gin and tonic, you know, we'll say cheers, here's Christmas. And it's very easy to have one drink and then be good and then have the willpower and say, now I'm going to stick to low alcohol drinks, without realising that what you've done is you've given yourself, you know, a good start, a head start, if you like. And then what you're doing with the low alcohol drink is topping that up.
Bit by bit.
You think, you know, I'm being real goody-goody here, I'm, you know, really sticking to the rules, but you're not, because you're actually easily going over the limit if you do that.
But if they change the labelling so that all low alcohol drinks have the same amount of alcohol, then there wouldn't be a difficulty, would there?
Yes, either bringing it down or making it crystal clear, you know, what the alcohol percent is in relation to, you know, the proper, if it's wine, in relation to real wine or full wine or whatever you want to call it. If they did that, and trading standards officers would like to see that, they think that would be a really good idea if something was star rated, or at least, you know, it was made clearer just how much alcohol there was so people couldn't get caught out.
One of the big difficulties is that, say you and I this Christmas decide, naturally enough, that we're not going to drink and that we're going to ferry our husbands around. So we're going to go to a pub and we're only ever going to have low alcohol or no alcohol drinks. There are big markups, aren't there, on those sort of drinks? What are your best buying? 'Cause I know you've got a range of glasses in front of you.
Well, what I was going to say was that if you are driving, I think the most sensible thing to do, and I know lots of experts this year are saying, keep off even low alcohol drinks and stick to soft drinks. Now, if you do that, obviously you'll go for lemonades, colas, fruit juices very often. And you can spend a fortune in a pub on soft drinks. I mean, if you choose the branded little soft drinks, you'll actually find you're probably spending more than your husband who's drinking pints or something. So, I mean, one tip, if you're concerned about the cost of it all, is to go for the bar tap and go for the lemonade that's already made up or something, rather than the branded drinks. But yes, there's a lot here. I have to say, some of us feel almost ashamed, don't we, when we go in pubs and we say we're not going to drink, and we almost think the landlord looks at us with disdain that we're not drinking. You shouldn't feel that, you know, because there's actually more profit margin on drinks like this. I mean, we've got some here, lemonades, fruit juices, apple juices and orange juices. There's more profit margin for the pub in these than there is for beers, for example.
That's remarkable. And isn't tomato juice the worst?
Yes, according to one pub landlord I spoke to, he said he makes far more profit. The biggest profit earner he has is tomato juice. So when people go in and ask for a tomato juice, he laughs all the way to the bank. He thinks that's
remarkable.
marvellous.
I shall stay off the tomato juice the run up to Christmas, I'm happy to say. Jan, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
Now, coming up, we're looking at those ideas for Christmas presents, cosmetic presents for Christmas, but first we'll take a break.
Back to Front. Lionel Richie's greatest hits. Out now.
Thanks, Mum.
Say thank you with Cadbury's Roses. Christmas, Woolworths is right up your street.
As a designer, I'm obviously interested in the way things look, and it was the shape that first made sense to me.
New Regular Always has changed its shape.
Extremely comfortable, to the degree that I didn't even know I was wearing it.
New Regular Always has a natural shape and a natural fit, as well as the one-way dry weave top sheet to help keep you feeling fresh and dry.
It's that shape that sells it to me.
The new natural shape Always. Always fresher, always drier.
If the day has been cruel to your feet, treat them to Totes Toasties stretch slippers and feel a dramatic change. Totes slippers have special non-slip treads and soft pillowy soles to make your feet feel warm, welcome and happy to be home. Toasties stretch slippers from Totes.
AA AutoQuote could find you a better deal on your car insurance. For a free quote, call free on 0800 444 777 today.
For over 1,000 watches and jewellery gifts from as little as £10, look in your Argos catalogue. It's your guide to low prices.
What do you want for Christmas? A chocolate crisp gatto, only 99p. That's why Mum's gone to Iceland.
Hello again, welcome back. You're watching After 9 on TVAM, so do not adjust your set just because I'm sitting here. Unfortunately, Kathy isn't very well. Now, if you're anything like me, at the moment you're desperately trying to think up ideas for interesting presents for your friends and family. And this morning we've got another wonderful selection of presents for you, this time cosmetic presents for women, brought in by makeup artist Teresa Fairminer, who regular After 9 viewers will know very well, of course. Morning, Teresa.
Good morning.
Now, I know we've got presents in all sorts of different price ranges here. Can we start? I know these are stocking fillers, aren't they?
Yes, these are all stocking fillers, and everything you can do by mail order, which is quite useful. So these are just fun. These are tattoos, and they've got about 30 different varieties there, and they're about £3.
And they come off easily, don't they?
Come off easily with baby oil, so very good. Then you can go on to false eyelashes, a must.
A must at Christmas, and these, I like the look of these. Wonderful talons. My nails never grow long enough.
Oh,
I'd like to give those a try.
They're very easy to use, very easy. And then, of course, you go on to these are great. These are for cosmetics to go, and that's free delivery on there. And they've got a bath bomb, they call it, because it goes fizz and does all sorts of ghastly things in the bath. And there's a little thing to shoot there and balloons and things like that. So that's about £3. I thought that was good value. Little snowman soap is sweet.
Sweet, and all on mail order?
Mail order, no, that's £2 and no extra post and packaging.
Yes, let me have a look in here, because this is the one I like the look of. This was under the Christmas tree.
Oh, this is more expensive. And you've got tattoos, you've got a little soap, champagne bath, you've got false eyelashes, toothpaste, all sorts of goodies in there, but £21, a little bit more expensive.
Yes, £21.50. It's quite a lot. In actual fact, you could get yourself a box, couldn't you, and fill it up with little bits less expensively than that.
Good idea.
And still looks wonderful. Use the box afterwards.
But if you haven't got the time and you want something for your granddaughter or something like that, you know, I'm sure lots of viewers do, then that's marvellous. This is sweet. This is £3.50. And I don't know if that will show up terribly, but it's like one of those things, I'm going to shake in it. It's got little sparkly things in it, and it's a bath oil, and it's a little snow in there.
So when you come out of the bath, do you look as if you're dressed in Lurex from head to foot?
You don't. It doesn't seem to attach itself. I did try it. Now then, that's enough of the stocking fillers. Then let's go into something a little bit more special. This I thought was very good value because it's £12.99. And that is from Argos, and you've got it. I think, don't you think that's good value?
That's very good value. But everything.
Everything. You've got nail clippers, eyebrow tweezers, the whole lot in there, and a little mirror.
What is this? Here, there's a very strange little two-pronged instrument here, which looks like something a surgeon would use.
That's for the toes and for little corns and things. I don't know that you should dig too deeply with that, but on a Sunday afternoon you could amuse yourself, couldn't you? Then you could, if you wanted, which is very fashionable as we spoke about earlier, you could go on to red nail varnish, red lip pencil, red lipstick, Paloma Picasso. Again, quite reasonable prices, or medium price, they're about £12. If you don't like wearing red nail varnish on your fingernails, or don't forget your toenails, that's quite jolly.